Keeping up with the Instagram algorithm can be tough. Just when you feel like you have it figured out, they go and change it again. But if you've been trying to figure out how to get your posts, reels, and stories in front of more people, I've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how the current Instagram algorithm works and give you some practical tips to make it work for you. But first, what is the Instagram algorithm? The Instagram algorithm is a set of rules and processes that Instagram uses to know what content to show on users' feeds. It's designed to show content that users will find the most interesting to keep people on the platform longer. Remember, that's Instagram's whole goal, right? To keep you on the platform longer, to get advertisers paying more money to be shown to more people. When Instagram first launched, way back in 2010, you used to log in and see everyone's posts in a single feed in chronological order. Us elders, myself included, remember signing on to Instagram and you would scroll till you got to a photo you'd already seen before and know that you'd caught up. But as more and more people signed on and more content was shared, it became impossible to see everything from everyone, and people were missing out on posts from their families and friends that they really cared about, which kind of made the app feel a little disorganized. Enter algorithms. Instagram developed algorithms to help people see the content that they cared the most about. One of the main misconceptions of the Instagram algorithm, and I am guilty of saying this on my videos to generalize and make it a little bit more understandable, there is not one almighty Instagram algorithm. There isn't one algorithm that decides everything that's seen on Instagram. Instead, it's a series of algorithms and signals and processes and all of this information that Instagram uses to know what people want to see across the board. For example, people tend to look at stories to find out information about their closest friends, but head over to Explore when they want to find something new. Instagram has different rules for these different types of content. Understanding these algorithms can help you tailor your content to get better reach and engagement and ultimately grow your business. It's about working smarter, not harder, on social media. So how do the Instagram algorithms work? Well, in simple terms, Instagram looks at the information about the post, the content, whether it's a reel or a feed post or a story, and information about the user and their experience and their behavior and their interests, and it wants to give the right content to the right people. All of this information that Instagram collects is organized into what they call signals. There are 4 signals across the app that are used no matter what type of content is being posted. First is information about the post. Second is your history on the app. Third is your history of interacting with the person who posted. And fourth is the information about the person posting. Now I want to take a closer look at each of these signals and see how it impacts the different types of content that you're posting, whether it's feed posts, stories, Explore tab, or Reels. A quick refresher before we dive in, feed posts and stories are where Instagram thinks you want to see content from friends, family, and the people closest to you. Explore is where you go to find new content or they find content for you. And Reels is for entertainment. It's where you want to really stick around and scroll, doom scroll, and find the new content as well. Let's start with information about the post itself. This includes how popular the post is, how many likes, comments, shares it has, how many people have interacted with it, but also the more mundane parts of the post, like does it have a location tag? What time of day was it posted? Did you tag any people in it? Are there hashtags? This signal is much more important with Explore and Reels than in feed posts and stories, because again, Instagram wants to show feed posts and stories to the people you're closest to, no matter the information about the post. But with Explore and Reels, it's really looking at information about the post to see who might find it interesting. And the 2 most important predictors for a Reel are 1, are they watching it all the way through? And 2, are they sharing it? Are they hitting that little paper airplane icon and sending it to their friends? That's how Instagram knows that you've been successful with your Reel. Also, bonus tip, if people are clicking through to the audio and wanting to also use the audio you used, that shows Instagram that people want to create content off your content. That's a huge predictor of success on Reels. The second signal that Instagram looks at is your history on the app. What content have you liked or commented on or shared in the past? What have you found interesting? This helps Instagram know what content you will find interesting in the future. Again, this is more important on Explore and Reels versus feed posts and stories, but something to keep in mind. As a business on Instagram, you can really set up the experience you're going to have on the app by telling Instagram what you find most interesting by engaging with content that you want to see on your feed. The third signal is your history of interacting with the user on the app. So for Explore and Reels, this is a little less important because Explore and Reels are trying to show you new content. However, if you have engaged with an account in the past and didn't follow, you're probably more likely to see their content again in the Reels tab or the Explore tab, especially if they have a popular piece of content that Instagram thinks you might like. But this signal is incredibly important for feed posts and stories. It's how Instagram knows if you have a relationship with this person online. It's how it knows if you care about this user and their content. So as a business, one of the best things you can do is go out and engage with your target audience. When you show Instagram this increased engagement or interactions that you're having with your target audience, Instagram's going to pick up on that and show you to more people in your target market. The fourth signal is information about the person who posted. This gives Instagram a sense of who this person might be to you. Would they be interesting to you? Have a lot of people interacted with them in the past? Do they tend to interact back? Are they engaging? All of this is important for Instagram to know to see if they are a valid person who you might be interested in connecting with. And it's really important across the board for all different types of content. If this all seems too specific, too scientific, you don't want to keep track of all of this information, I get it. There are 3 things that are really the most impactful that you can do right now to get more reach on the algorithm. First is building relationships with people. Comment back when people comment. Go out and talk to people. Really actually build those online relationships. This is especially important for businesses. It's one of the easiest free things you can do to get more reach. Spend the time to get to know your target market and go on and engage with them. Send DMs, answer back, start conversations. This is a great way to build your audience online. Second is to post things that your people will find interesting. Your tribe, your target market. Would they generally interact with content like this on Instagram? One way you can find this is looking back at last posts to see what's most successful. Another way is looking at competitors or other accounts that are kind of in your space to see what type of content does your target market generally interact with. Remember, when the Instagram algorithms see that a type of content is more successful with a type of user, they want to show more of that content type to that user. Third is stay relevant. Instagram decides how relevant each piece of content is, but it looks to see about that timeliness factor. Is it using trends? Is it relevant in what's going on the app? And Instagram does prefer recent posts to older posts when it comes to timeliness and relevance. Hey, if you've learned one thing from this video, would you mind hitting the like button? It helps me know if this content is helpful and whether or not I should create more content like it. And if you've learned 2 things, I would love for you to subscribe. It's an easy, free way for you to support content creators like me, and it helps me create more videos like this. If you already had a good idea about how the algorithm works, I do want to share the most important, newest revelations happening over there at Instagram. And first is they are starting to focus less on Reels. Head honcho over at Instagram, Adam Mosseri, recently did an IG Live where he talked about how they want to weigh other types of content just as importantly as Reels. This comes after a lot of complaining from users thinking that the feed was just way too saturated with videos, way too saturated with trending audio. Now, this doesn't mean to stop making Reels. Reels are still a very important part of your marketing strategy, but I don't want you to go all in on only Reels. We want to try other types of content too to see what's most successful for your business, for your audience, for your types of content. Try carousel posts, try story posts, try feed posts, try stickers in your stories. Try all these different things along with Reels to see what's most successful for you. Speaking of Reels, replayed Reels now count as views. So before, when people looped through and watched your Reel over and over again, those did not count as views. Now they will. You may see a jump in your views on Reels as you move forward and continue to make more. The last update on Reels is Reels with watermarks are ranked lower. This has long been speculated and it's now been confirmed by Adam in his Instagram stories that if your Reel has a watermark on it, whether it's TikTok or a video editing software, it is being dinged by the algorithm and not getting the reach that it could without that watermark. So make sure that you're taking the watermark off or creating content that doesn't have a watermark on it in the first place when you're posting to Reels. The last new content I want to share today is about the younger users on Instagram. As of 2024, Instagram is now automatically placing teen accounts into the strictest content control setting. This means that teens will have a harder time coming across potentially sensitive content or accounts when on search and explore. This change is being made to make Instagram an overall safer place for these younger users. I'm very happy they're doing this. So if your market is younger, I would definitely recommend you steer away from any content that could be construed as violent or nudity or eating disorders, anything along those lines. And honestly, if you can avoid that type of content, I would anyway. Instagram is pretty well known for nerfing content when it dances along the line of what's appropriate on their app. So just refrain from posting things that could be sensitive if that's possible for you and your business. So what's next? Well, if you're ready to continue growing your Instagram, I recommend you watch this video next. I go over my best Instagram story tips to really grow your business on the platform. And don't forget to subscribe, because in my next video, I'm going to go over my top tips for the Instagram algorithm and exactly what you can do to get the most reach using the platform. Until then, stay social.